Switching gears, Home Depot stock slightly higher after reporting a 2% decline in sales in its second quarter. Home improvement retailers just wrapping up its earnings call. Joining us now with some key takeaways from the call is Yahoo Finance reporter Brooke DiPalma. Okay, Brooke, tell us more.
Well, good morning, Brad. Good morning, Julie. I mean, certainly Home Depot here giving us an inside look at the state of the economy and the state of the U.S. consumer. As Josh just noted, we're certainly seeing a slowdown in discretionary spending among consumers. Consumers buying smaller ticket items. They did say that they're seeing strength in project-related categories like building materials, hardware, and plumbing. But once again, pressure in those big ticket items. Some optimistic outlook for the second half of the year, saying that the Halloween outlook is looking promising. But certainly weather having to do a lot with it as customers look for exterior painting and stain. But going forward, they said that there is a healthy consumer segment for this demand at Home Depot in the overall environment. Also, bright side for lumber deflation. Prices there decreasing by over 40% for framing lumber. They did note from a larger perspective that inflation has certainly abated. Commodities is certainly down meaningfully from a peak year over year. They said we're not expecting a deflationary environment, though, and they're kind of settling in these non-commodity price levels. But the big takeaway here, too much uncertainty to update guidance here. CEO Ted Decker saying from a more macro perspective, they expected after 3 years of explosive growth, they expected 2023 to be a bit more moderate. They do say that consumers remain resilient thanks to strong job growth and wages. They also noted that inventory is better and their value proposition is good. But they reaffirmed their guidance, full year sales to drop between 2 to 5% compared to fiscal 2022. And that's because Ted Decker said that there's lots of uncertainties that remain. They don't know how quickly or further the share shift in consumer spending will occur and whether or not that home improvement sector that we saw boom during COVID will ever come back. In addition to that, they're also weighing on monetary policy actions to really see how exactly the consumer goes into the second half of this year.
So let's circle back to the big ticket purchases that you mentioned that they emphasized both on the call and in the statement. Tell us more about that. What are we talking about here? Yeah, well, certainly we're looking at more, big ticket items in terms of appliances that we saw really make headway as far as consumer spending went during COVID. But now we're seeing a sort of a backtrack to there. And the executive vice president of merchandising did give us some details on the call. Here's what he had to say.
Big ticket comp transactions, or those over $1,000, were down 5.5% compared to the second quarter of last year. After 3 years of unprecedented demand in the home improvement market, we continue to see softer engagement in big ticket discretionary categories like patio and appliances that likely reflects both pull forward of these single item purchases and deferral.
And so really looking forward, Home Depot really weighing on monetary policy actions to determine whether or not consumer sentiment will change in the latter half of this year and if they will have further pricing power to ultimately, go back and spend more on items that they did maybe a few years ago.
Brad's got some sticker shock here. He's looking at robo-mowers on the Home Depot website.
I'm just saying, back in the days of B&W Lawn Care Services in Westchester, Pennsylvania, I would have absolutely invested in one of these and just taken them from lawn to lawn. That was one of my clients, yeah.
I have not seen those at all at work in my suburb. There are definitely still people behind them, but they did just ban gas-powered mowers. Hallelujah.
Interesting.
Not everybody's following the ban.
These are eco-friendly.
I'm very glad.
Yeah,
electric is the way to go.
We'll have to see those if those are in the inventory, because Home Depot definitely doubling down on that inventory as well. They did also say that they're pleased with the progress that they made. They said the inventory turns about 4.4 times, down from 4.5 times from last year. But I don't know if those robos are on store shelves in a high capacity.
No, I think they probably
the demand might be from you, but not from everyone.
You got a Roomba for the inside of your house. I'm just saying, you might need an EcoFlow mower for the outside.
It makes sense. All right, thanks, Brooke.